happy Saturday. So, we've got babies on the run and the typical always booked noise here. But today is Saturday. It is my favorite day of the week, honestly. And this Saturday is going to be extra fun because it is the start of birthday parties galore here in July. So, we are going to a birthday party as a family here in a little bit. And it's at a park slash splash pad, and it's a double birthday party. So there's a birthday party for a boy who is turning 8, and there's gonna be a football game going on for him, and then there's a girl who's turning 4, and there's going to be the splash pad and park festivities for her. And so it's going to be a little chaotic because my oldest is friends with the boy and my third kid is friends with the girl. And so it's going to be a juggle. It's going to be fun. But we're going as a family. And so we need to actually get moving now. But I wanted to get on and say hello and talk to you about reading because I finished this. I finished One Summer in Paris by Sarah Morgan, and I really enjoyed it until the very end. I am not happy with how this ended. If you have read this book, please message me because, thank you. Because I really I'm very unhappy with the way this ended. So this is about 2 women who are going to Paris for the summer. So one is a middle-aged woman. They're celebrating their 25th wedding anniversary, and at the celebration, like at dinner or whatever, her husband is like, hey, actually I want a divorce. I'm seeing somebody else, yada, 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 yada. And so she is heartbroken, and she had planned this whole trip to Paris for them to celebrate. And so she decides to go anyway by herself. And she meets this young girl who's like 18. Now, the other girl, her name is Audrey, and she is she has an alcoholic mother, and she's just like somebody who's very street smart because she's had to be, and she's jaded by life and all of that. And she's also severely dyslexic. So she goes to Paris for the summer just to kind of get out, do her own thing for the first time, and gets a job in a bookstore. And the bookstore brings these 2 women together. And I just loved it. Like, it's like a mother-daughter relationship, but in a way that's kind of healing for both of them. For the girl who's never really had a mother, and for the adult woman, Grace, she does have an adult, like a young adult daughter, and she's learning that like maybe her type A-ness isn't the best for everybody around her. And hold on, I've got the baby. There's a gate to not allow her in here, and somehow she sneaked through, and she's taking full advantage of that. So I'm going to get her out real quick, and then I'll be back. Okay, so my complaints about this book. Well, I'm not going to tell you my complaints, but the reason I love this book so much is, one, the found family element and the mother-daughter relationship, and kind of healing both of them in ways that are totally unexpected, because like, you would not expect to go to Paris and meet a young girl or like a mother figure. I don't know. That relationship was just fun to see. But why I was endeared to these characters is Grace, our main character who's middle-aged. She has always been type A, very, very structured, like well-oiled machine. Her house runs because she juggles 45,000 balls all the time. And her husband tells her that that's not a good thing. And I just could see her identity being shaken in a way that I can relate to so very much. And the things that you think are your strengths, and then somehow they become weaknesses. And because I think with every character trait, it can be a strength or a weakness, depending on, the degree of it or whatever. But I can relate to so much somebody else's words or somebody else's influence changing how you see yourself. And that just broke my heart for her that he shook her in that way, and that, he told her she was not good, and told her she was not enough. And that just was so sad. And then for Audrey, her mother was an alcoholic, and the way that has jaded her and things like that, I could also very much relate to. So I really loved these 2 women. And the end felt like the whole book was steps forward, and then we took a giant step backwards. And like, I don't know. I did not love the end at all. So let me know if you've read this. I want to talk about it. I liked it. I'm still going to probably give it like 4 stars because I really enjoyed it and I loved our main characters, but that was a big bummer. There are 1 or 2, at least 2. I think there's two probably steamy scenes, a little bit of language, not awful. And I skipped the steamy scenes. I know there's been some discussion in Christian booktube, especially about reading books and skipping steam or not. I'm still okay with it. So I skipped those, and yeah, there's that. So let's talk about this. The Secrets We Keep by Kate Hewitt. This is my physical read. And I am, let's see, I read an extra chapter on Kindle because I do have it on Kindle until today, probably, because I think my Kindle Unlimited stops today. So I'm on page 58, and I am liking this. So we're getting the perspective of two different women. One is Tessa. She has a son and daughter, and I think her daughter is like 11 and her son's like 9, so tweens. And they are going to this, they rented a lake house for the entire summer. And they get there and it's really run down, but it's right on the lake. So it seems good enough. I mean, they live in New York and in Brooklyn in a house that her and her husband have had forever. And so it's not the greatest house. And this is even a downgrade from that. But it's right on the lake, everything. So they're just trying to get their feet wet. She is there because she's not with her husband, and we don't know why. She's like excited to be away from him for the summer, and he's not coming to visit. So there's a lot we don't know about that relationship. But the reason she really wanted to go is because she feels very disconnected from her kids. Her daughter is entering that puberty age where I've heard it's rough. I don't know. I mean, I'll get lots of experience with that here soon enough. And so that, and then her son is just also kind of in that like teen angst, even though he's not a teenager yet. And so she's wanting to connect with her kids. And then right next door or somewhere in a lake house very close by is what's her name? Rebecca? Is that her name? Rebecca has 3 kids and this picture perfect life. She lives in New York City as well, but like in the very trendy area. She's got this perfect body. She belongs to the club in this town. And for some reason, her husband's not there either. And her 3 kids, we don't know much about them, but we're getting the inner thoughts of both of these women. And Rebecca invites Tessa and her family over for dinner, and there's like some ulterior motives maybe. I don't really know what's going on yet. So I don't know if this says, how do you keep your children safe when you can't even protect yourself? Is this like emotional safety? Is this going to take a thriller turn? I have no idea, but I love Kate Hewitt, and so I trust her, and I'm going to just keep on keeping on without knowing much. So there's that. And then last is The Note by Angela Hunt. So I have started this on audio, and this book is a book that will probably make me sad. And so far, so the first chapter stresses me out in like big ways, because the first chapter opens with a plane crash, and we're going through like the plane, I don't know, the plane is, we're taking a regular flight, takeoff goes great, the flight goes great, and then something awful happens on landing. And I have a lot of flight anxiety, and I have heard that like if something wrong is going to happen, it's usually in the first 10 minutes or the last 10 minutes or something like that. I don't know. And normally though, when I see land, when we're starting to land, I feel like this false sense of comfort. And so that's when something goes wrong here, and I'm like, okay, well, there goes that comfort. My husband, he got his master's in like a aerospace engineering thing, and so he will talk me through every detail. But if you guys are in anxiety sufferers, you know that like it doesn't matter. It feels unnatural anyway. So that's beside the point. So that's the first chapter. And then we move and we follow this woman who writes kind of like a Dear Abby column in the paper. She writes about, people write in for advice. It's called The Heart Healer. And so it's different things. And the column has gotten really dry. And like the only people that read it are the 85 plus crowd. And so, the people who make decisions say, you got to switch, you got to go somewhere else. And she doesn't want to. She wants to revive this thing. But she is a very hard individual, and she likes facts, and she doesn't like, she wants to report the facts. She doesn't want to report like gushy, but for some reason she's very attached to trying to revive this heart healer article, like column. And so she has 2 weeks to try to either like do it well, because the person before did it really well. So the powers that be don't think it's like the concept that's wrong. They think it's her kind of detached writing. And so she has 2 weeks to either figure it out and do it well, to get a lot of readers, or they switch her to something else. Well, then this plane crash happens, and she has the opportunity to get kind of not the inside scoop because it's everywhere, but somebody comes and says, hey, in the rubble, here was this note that said, T, I love you, all is forgiven, Dad. And so she is going to try to figure out what this note means, who it's to, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, so far so good. It is intense. I'm reading a lot of just like intense women's fiction, and I love it very much. So there's that. So now I've been yammering on for 12 minutes, and I'm hoping my husband's getting everybody ready for the party, but there's one kid in here and I don't think so. So I'm going to go rally the troops. We're going to go splash pad and park our way through the morning, and then I will check in later. Everyone, so it is now 5:30 and the day has gone by. We went to the birthday party, and it was at a park where I think I said there's like a splash pad, there's sports fields, there's playgrounds, there's all sorts of stuff, and there were 6 birthday parties going on at once. 6 birthday parties going on at once because the friend of mine that was hosting the birthday party for her kids said you can't reserve like the gazebos or anything, and so it's first come first serve. So she's like, everyone's here and it's just chaos. And so there were hundreds of kids there. There were so many kids, and it was chaotic, but the girls had so much fun, and we got to see some friends we haven't seen in a while, and it was a great time. So came home, did a late lunch, and then some quiet time kind of, and then we've been the people came and got the dressers that I sold, and then Jeremy's been working on cleaning out the garage. The girls are playing sprinkler soccer. I lifted weights, and now we're watching soccer. I'm making dinner. Well, the girls are still playing soccer. I'm watching soccer and making dinner, and I called my Grammy and chatted with her. She will be 92 this year, I think, and she may be watching this. If you are, hi, Grams. But she just is my favorite. Like, she's so fun to talk to. And her and one of my children remind me so much of each other that it's just so fun. And she grew up, I've talked about her a couple times, but she grew up she was born in Oklahoma during the Dust Bowl. And so her family moved to California, and just so many things that I'm like, gosh, I've never asked so many questions. And now I have so much that I want to know from her, and just also just chatting with her because she lives a couple hours away from me, so I don't get to see her or talk to her as much as I want to. So it's been a good day. And my hip is feeling a little bit better today. It gets like awful at night. It's probably just because I've been on it all day. But anyway, I read a handful of chapters of this during quiet time. I'm going to talk to you guys real quick. My big girls just came and said the baby fell. And so she scraped her legs at the park today. And I guess she's got more of a scrape. My husband's with her. So I'm going to finish talking to you guys. And but this is a book where it's a really interesting style of writing where I'm 100 pages in, and I feel like I barely know either character. So both characters are hiding a lot from the reader, which you would probably guess with the secrets we keep. And sorry, there's lots of interruptions, but so they're both hiding a lot. We've got Rebecca, who is the society mom, looks the part and does all these things, belongs to the country club, yada, yada, yada. And she has like a drinking problem, kind of self-harm some stuff. And there's a lot going on, and we don't know why. And she has parents who she says love her too much. And so we don't know at all what's going on with her, but she seems a little frantic and a little unhinged. And then we have Tessa. And Tessa is the mom that like keeps it all together, wants to get to know her kids, really wants this bonding thing, but why her mom died a couple years ago and she's never been the same since, and why is her husband not there, and why does her husband have no desire to be there, and what's going on there. And it's an interesting writing style where I feel like this is a book where on reread it would actually be so much better because we know these characters, whereas like getting to know them is taking a long time. So it's kind of hard to have the desire to pick this up when I don't feel like I know either woman. And their friendship, like they're starting a friendship over what I think just because they're both there and don't know what to do with themselves, but there's not like a genuine friendship. So I'm really not sure where this is going. And I still, like, I'm 100 pages in and it's only 350 pages. So like, is this going to turn sinister? I don't know what we're doing, but I'm still liking it when I'm reading it, and the chapters go by pretty quickly. So I'm going to keep on keeping on and see where this goes. So, but yeah, this is a book that I think like when I finish it, I'll be like, oh wow, that was really good. But in the actual process, it's not the best. So that's everything. So now tonight we've got Norway and England playing right now, and then the Royals play, and then Argentina plays actually here in town, but we're not going because it's at 8 o'clock, and that's like 10 o'clock in our brain. So gonna watch lots of sports tonight, eat dinner, take showers, and call it a night. So that is everything for today. Thank you guys so much for watching. We'll see you tomorrow.